Yeah, it's obviously a blow. Certainly, out of the three players that are going to be missing, for me, Nathan Patterson was a stick on to start the game, Paul. No doubt about that. Listen, the most important thing on Saturday was getting the 3 points. I thought we played some good stuff just in that final third. The final cross, our ball wasn't good enough. We weren't ruthless enough. I think that's will be Steve Clarke's main concern. But listen, the most important thing was getting the win and getting the 3 points and moving on to what is going to be a big game tomorrow night against the Austrians, who are going through a tough time at this moment in time, beaten convincingly by Israel. So this is a real good opportunity for us. If we go and we've got our players on top form, I think we can go there and get 3 points.
Mark, nobody expected them to lose 5-2
Yeah.
in Israel. It gives us hope.
Oh, it does. And Paul, I've heard the stories now, people saying, yeah, a point's a good result in Vienna tomorrow night. It is a good result, but we've got to go and win. If we win tomorrow night, we eliminate pretty much Austria. We take them out of the equation, and it's a shootout between ourselves and Israel for second spot. Looking at the remaining fixtures, Paul, looking at the table just now, if we can get to 18 points, I think that will secure second spot. But we've got 8 points from the first half, the first 5 games. It means we need to do better in the second round of fixtures than we have in the first. I think we are 10 points away. And what better way to kick that off tomorrow night by getting 3 points, eliminating Austria, and then our next game after that is Israel at Hampden. Beat Israel at Hampden, we're as good as there.
Barry, that'll be a sellout.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a sellout. I mean, we've come up against Israel enough times to know that I believe we're a better team than Israel. They are a good team. They proved that on Saturday night with a great result against the Austrians. But we go there and we get the 3 points, as Mark just mentioned. It's a must. We get that. Next game is against the Israelis at Hampden, full house. And then we get another 3 points. That's 6 points. Mark's just spoke about 10 points. Now 2 games, you've got 6 points. So I think it's possible. But tomorrow night, we need to go there and we need to go for them, because there's obviously issues within that Austrian squad, because they have got good players, but something's not just right there.
David Alaba came out and said it, didn't he? The Real Madrid player said there's something wrong in the Austrian camp.
They're fragile, Paul, they're vulnerable, all those kind of adjectives, and that's what we need to take advantage of tomorrow night. I'll be really disappointed if we don't win the game. If we want to qualify, if we want to be serious, these are the kind of games that you've got to go and win. We didn't qualify for 23 years because we weren't winning games like this. So I said, let's go and do it. Let's show that we're proper. Let's show that we mean business. Let's eliminate Austria, take them out of the equation, and then get ourselves in the right frame of mind for Israel coming to Hampden on October the 9th. But I think we can do it, and I'll be interested to see the team that Steve Clarke picks as well. I hope it's a bold lineup, Paul. I hope it's a bold starting 11.
Do you think he will be?
Well, I hope so. Intent from the kick-off to go and show that we're going out to win the game, not to go and hold off for an hour, nick a point in them. From the kick-off, take the game to Austria. They're fragile, they're vulnerable. Take the game to them and go and win it.
Would you play 2 up front?
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait for Barry's team. I've got it written down.
We'll get them in the way well.
I would go 2 up front for sure.
I would go to, but I don't think Steve Clarke will go to. I think he'll go back to what he normally does away from home. He'll play a Ryan Christie off a main striker. I don't think he'll go with either Shea Adams or Kevin Nisbet. I think that's the way that he's done it in the past, and I think that will be the way he'll do it tomorrow night.
Here is the manager speaking about the injuries.
Nathan and Kenny injuries from the game. Such a short turnaround, difficult to get them back in time for this one, so they don't travel. And unfortunately Ryan Fraser picked up a knock in training, which again with a short turnaround just means that there's no point in taking him because he wouldn't be ready for the game. So losing 3. But I did say after the game the other night, and I wasn't making it up, I had 7 or 8 doubts. So losing 3 means that I've got 4 or 5 that have made it.
Callum's on the line from Football CFB. Callum, good evening.
Good evening. Just obviously caught the end of your conversation there, and I agree that I would like to see 2 up front. I'm a wee bit frustrated by Callum McGregor's comments about a must not lose. I mean, I know, I suppose it is a must not lose, but I just think we need to be more positive. I think we've got a good core group of players for the national team, and I would like to see us be a bit more positive, both in terms of setup and how we also speak about the team, because I think Austria, as the guys have said, are vulnerable, and this is a game that we should be going into looking to win and being confident with. Obviously, I'm not saying we're going to go in and win 3 or 4-0, but we should be going into this game thinking we've got a good squad of players. Why can't we go and attack them and really take the game to them when they're going through a shaky period like they are?
All right, in fairness, here's what Callum McGregor had to say about the game.
Yeah, it's a must not lose game rather than, must win. A win would be great. Everyone's feeling good. A win the other night as well keeps the momentum going, and like you say, we want to win the game. It puts us in the best possible position, but like you said, if you want to label it, then it's probably must not lose.
Barry, must win.
Yeah, I think we've got to go there and win the game. I think it's there for us because, as we've seen over the course, Austria have got good players, but there's something no right in that camp just now, and there's no better time to play the Austrians than tomorrow night. So I think if we go there with a positive attitude, we are a team that can go out there and take the game to the Austrians. I think we can go and win, there's no doubt, but I think we have got to win because we need to make sure we secure that second place. We're never going to get first place. The Danes are miles ahead of us, so we need to make sure that we get rid of the Austrians, and we can do that tomorrow night.
Mark?
Yeah, Callum McGregor there is saying, label it a must not lose. Over in Austria now, David Alaba and Marko Arnautovic and Franco Foda, the coach, they'll be sitting saying this is a must-win game for Austria. They will have to come out. If they don't win tomorrow night, they're as good as out. If they beat us tomorrow night, we've left ourselves pretty much out of it. When you look at what we'd need to I think 18 points is a target. So it might suit us, and I'm getting where Barry's coming from there in terms of what he thinks Steve Clarke would do. Because if he's saying Austria need to come out and take the game to us, are we good enough to soak it? Who can we hit? Who can I select that hits them in the counter attack, soaks it up? So all those kind of things will be going through Steve Clarke's head with in terms of his own team selection. But I think it's a must-win game for us. Austria away, Israel at home, our next 2 games. Let's take 6 points. If we're serious about qualifying, we should be taking 6 points.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.